welcome to lesson number 3 of the Become a Guitarist Today online guitar course. And congratulations on making it here. I'm so glad you made the choice to make this the next step into becoming a guitarist today. In today's lesson, we'll learn all about guitar tablature. We'll be concentrating on your picking technique, more melody playing, a new chord, and some more chord changes. Now don't forget, if you are struggling with anything, go back through the last lesson, go through the notes, and just make sure you've got a really good understanding of everything before you move on to this lesson. Feel free to post any questions on the Facebook page. So, playing groove. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, exercise 9, dynamite. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 10, the G major scale. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 11, the finger exercise. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, exercise 12, E minor to A9. 2, 3, 4. Exercise 15, E to A minor. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so how'd you go with that? So if you can play along for everything, you're ready to move on. So hopefully by now you've got yourself into a regular practice routine as well. Now, if not, now's a great time to do it because you're starting to learn a lot more things and a lot more into your playing each day. Now, I highly recommend if you can get 30 minutes a day, that's a good amount just to get started and just to go over all the chords and playing. You can even break it down. You can do 15 minutes of chords, 15 minutes of melodies. It's up to you. But as long as you play it every day, because if you leave it and your fingers start getting a bit sore again, then you have to pretty much start all over again. Now, once you have finished these 10 lessons, you'll be amazed on how much you can do and how far you can take your playing. So just by knowing the 10 chords that we're going to learn, you'll be able to play millions of songs. And you'll be able to jam along to all your favourite tunes. So let's get into it. So we're going to start with our first exercise on the 4th string and using a little melody to expand your playing. Now before we do, let's learn one of the most important things there is to learn about guitar playing. That's how to read guitar tablature. So there actually are 2 different ways. You can read music notation or read tablature. And it's actually the easiest way for this book and a lot of other ones to follow along to the music. Because once you start getting into more longer songs and more into the playing, you need to really follow along to the music rather than just trying to memorize it. So tablature. Here's where we have the 6 strings. So see the 6 lines going across the screen. So the top line is actually our 1st string. And then the bottom line is the low string. So if you see a note on the top line written on number 3, that means 3rd fret on the 1st string. If you see an open on the bottom one, which is the 6th string, that is open 6th string. If you see 2 notes written together, so for example, this one here is open N2, that means open 4th string and 2nd fret on the 3rd string. This is a power chord, which we'll get into a bit later. So really take your time, make sure you understand the tab and follow along to these songs. So let's start with a tune from my book, which hopefully you have by now. It's called Become a Guitarist Today, and the song is called Bangkok Blues. Now we're going to learn the first 4 bars, starting from the D string. So it does the D string 2 times. Then we go down to the 3rd string on the 2nd fret. 3rd fret on the 2nd string. 1st fret on the 2nd string. And then to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So it's so again, we really make sure your pick is playing the right string as well. Then the next part. So it starts off the same, but then we go to the 1st fret straight away. 2. Now once we start getting into the longer songs, I'll be more playing just a song, so make sure you understand the tab so you can follow along. Okay, so let's try it with the backing. Bangkok Blues. 3, 4. Now, in the next exercise, we're going to work on stretching with your fingers. So we're going to start by leaving your 1st finger on the 5th fret, while your little finger, your pinky, plays the 8th fret. So this is a really good way to make sure you're using different fingers as well. So we're going to do this exercise on the first 2 strings. So we're going to start on the 2nd string. So it'll be 5, 8, 5, 8, and into the 1st string, same thing again. 5, 8, 5, 8. And again, make sure that 1st finger stays on the 5th fret. So it really works on getting that stretch. Starting from the 2nd string. And here we go, 2, 3, 4. 1st string. Back to the 2nd. On the open. So you can actually try this exercise anywhere on the fretboard. So if you want to, you can try it on the 7th fret to the 10th, 3rd fret. Now you notice the further we go down the fretboard or up the fretboard, the more the stretch is, because you'll notice the frets get smaller and smaller. So if you're doing it up here, it's a big stretch. That's why I like to start on the 5th fret, because it's pretty much where your hand is comfortable doing it. And then later on, you actually, when we start doing things called hammer-ons and pull-offs, this is why it's really important to use those different fingers, because if I do it's called a hammer-on, where you play the 1st finger, and your little finger hammers on, but we'll go into more of this later. But just so you can see why it is important to use different fingers. So that's impossible to do with one finger. Or the pull-offs. So for the musician users, this is where you can check out the mission called Fretmaster, and even have a go at unlocking level 2 and try the mission called fretting positions. Now, the great thing about musician, it does have a practice mode as well. So if you're playing a song and it is too fast for you, just go to the practice mode and you can slow it down to whatever speed you want. And if you press the auto button, what will happen is it will automatically decrease or increase depending on how many notes you get right or wrong. Now, before we get into our new chord, let's just work on 2 changes that we did from the last lesson. So using E minor to A minor. So this time we're actually changing the shape. So the first one's E minor without the 1st finger. The second one's with the 1st finger. So we're going to start on E minor. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Change down to the A minor with the 1st finger, and just the 5 strings. Back to E minor. Now, A minor. Again, if you want to, you can pick through the notes. A minor. A minor. Finish on E minor. Now I do have a link in my YouTube channel as well. It works on changing from the different chords, so have a look at that. The link is in the PDF notes for this lesson. So our new chord is C. Now what we're going to do to learn the C chord, let's go back to the A minor that we just did. Now all we're going to do is we're going to move our 3rd finger up to the 3rd fret on the 5th string. So from here, moving up to here. So you notice when I do this, these fingers will move a little bit, just to make the little stretch happening that we spoke about before. So there's A minor, move that 3rd finger up to the C. So my 2nd finger will come really close to the fret, to the bar line. And we're just going to play 5 strings. Okay, so let's just practice doing the C chord to start with. And 1, 2, 3, 4. again, just the 5 strings, so not the 6. 2, 3, 4. Okay, next one, we're going to strum and then pick through the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the strumming. Now this chord here, it is the one that a lot of people do struggle on, especially getting all those notes clear. And a lot of times you hear that. And again, it's just because you've got to use the tips of your fingers and make sure you really bend that up so you can hear all those notes clear. So make sure you take your time with this chord and to work on getting all the notes clear and to play along to the exercise. Now, exercise 20, we're going to change from A minor to C. Now again, as I spoke about before, it's only the 1 finger change. So from A minor, we're just going to move that 3rd finger to the C. And back, when we go backwards, our 3rd finger goes to the 3rd string 2nd fret, under the 2nd, and back up. Okay, so starting on A minor. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now move that 3rd finger to the C. Back to A minor. Now if you want to, you can actually lift your finger up a little bit just to get the change. Back to C. A minor. Okay, now we're going to do the same 2 chords, but this time we're actually going to pick through the notes. So we're going to pick through the A minor all the way down, and then when we get to the 1st string, we're going to go straight back up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're picking 8 notes, and we go to the C, same thing. Again, it's a really good way to making sure that your notes are nice and clear. So staying on A minor. And 1, 2, 3, 4. C. Now again, for the musician users, this is where you can do the mission called Cowboy Chords number 2. So it concentrates on the C chord and changing from E minor, A minor and the C. So here are the chords that you know so far. So we've got E minor, easy G, A9, E, A minor, and C. So in our next lesson, we're going to work on some more strumming patterns. We'll learn another chords, and we're also going to start working on some melodies that you'll be playing in lesson 10. So don't forget, at the start of lesson 4, you'll see your little checklist videos. Make sure you can play everything before you move on to the lesson. I'll see you at lesson 4.